One of the biggest concerns I find many people have about eating plant-based is not so much how it might change their life, but of how it might impact their wallet. They worry that they won't be able to afford buying plant-based foods like fruits and vegetables for long, and that everything needs to be organic. And there's the worry that they won't be able to keep to a budget if they go to a full plant-based diet. Are you feeling this way too? Well, let's address this worry. In this episode, I'll share with you 3 ways you can be smart about what you buy on your next grocery shop. Let's get you eating plant-based with more confidence while staying on a budget. So find a comfortable spot with a notebook and pen, and let's get to it. Ready? Let's jump in. Welcome to the Plant-Based Eating Made Easy podcast. I'm your host, Anna Zinn, plant-based registered dietitian and transition coach. Hi, friend. Do you want to regain your health with plant-based eating but feel overwhelmed and lost about how to do it? Do you feel it'll be hard to change your meat-heavy diet and impossible with working, running the home, or chasing after the grandkids? If so, you're in the right place. Here you'll find simple strategies, clear nutrition guidance, and practical tips to help you thrive plant-powered with more energy. So if you're ready to ditch the guesswork and transform your health the stress-free way, cozy up now with a hot cup of tea or listen while you walk, and let me show you how doable plant-based eating can be. Let's do this. I know it's easy to look at produce prices and get worried about how much the total grocery bill will cost. This may especially be the case if you've got health problems and need to also pay for ongoing prescription meds and doctor visit copays. And it doesn't help that gas prices seem to be continually rising too. But keep this in mind. All food prices are increasing, especially that of meats, eggs, poultry, and seafood. So just staying on a regular diet will make your grocery bill gradually go up too. Then there's this. We tend to forget how much we can potentially save in many other areas once our health improves. If your cholesterol drops to normal by natural means, you won't need to continue to take statin drugs indefinitely. If your blood sugar stays controlled and no longer spikes out of range all the time, your doctor may be able to lower your diabetes medication dosage or even take you off insulin. All this means less out-of-pocket prescription medication costs and less doctor visit copays to fork out. There will likely be less pain and less inflammation in your body too. Not to mention less gasoline fuel costs and more time saved for you from less doctor visits. Think of what you can gain from eating plant-powered. Then, compare this to what you can stand to lose if your way of eating and lifestyle habits stay the same and as more health problems surface. You'll even be able to save more money down the road from less healthcare costs and prescription meds. Making changes to your plate now to include more nourishing whole plant-based foods won't cost you an arm and a leg either. Not if you learn how to shop smart and store your fresh produce wisely. Friend, are you ready to start to make a real difference to your health and wallet by eating more plant-powered? If so, reach out to me at healthnow@plantnourish.com and let's connect. Tell me about your situation and let's see what the next best step would be for you in terms of getting started on your path to the best health and wellness. Now let me show you 3 ways to enjoy plant-based eating while cutting down your grocery bill so you can stay well within your budget as you begin to transform your health for the better. The first is this. Start to cut down on the animal-based food products you get weekly. Make a plan to intentionally reduce over the next few weeks the amount of red meat, poultry, eggs, and pork you buy. Then purposefully substitute these animal-based protein-rich foods with nutrient-rich and plant protein-rich foods. Get a few cans of shelf-stable black beans or red kidney beans to use in your favorite home meal recipes. And if you choose to get a bag or two of dried beans or lentils instead of the canned versions, you can save even more money. Because a large bag of dried beans can often be used to make at least 3 to 4 meals, compared to buying a piece of steak that will only likely last a single meal. Bags of dried legumes or cans of beans and lentils will also store well in your pantry for a long time without taking up fridge space. And lentils make a nice mincemeat substitute in stews, chilies, and lasagnas. Have I inspired you yet? The possibilities are really endless. The second tip is this: skip the frozen meals aisle and make your own frozen meals. Nowadays, when you go to the frozen section of a mid-sized or a large grocery store near you, you can be pretty sure to find at least 1 or 2 different commercial ready-to-heat frozen vegan meal products to buy. But most store-bought frozen plant-based meals are pretty expensive, and the cost of using them can add up in your grocery bill if you're eating them a few times a week. Plus, if you look at the ingredients lists and nutrition facts panels of these products, you will see that many of these products are not the best options health-wise either. Often, when I've looked more closely at the available plant-based frozen meal packages at my local grocery store, I see that these products are rather high in sodium and tend to have quite a bit of added oils and sugars as well. Here's a pro tip. When you look at the nutrition facts label information on a frozen meal package, make sure to check what portion size the information refers to. Sometimes, the information given is only for half the product and not the full package amount. Even though most consumers would eat the whole bowl or product in one sitting. In almost all cases, if you choose a good meal prep friendly and truly healthy plant-based recipe to make, it will be much healthier to make your own frozen plant-based meal portions because you can choose and control the ingredients you put into them. And you'll be able to save a lot of grocery shopping dollars making your own frozen meals in the future. Just double the recipe you make, so you'll have some portions to freeze for later. Now here's a third strategy you can use. Check the prices of both organically and conventionally grown produce for the same food item. I know, oftentimes we just automatically think that the organically grown produce item will be more expensive than the conventionally grown version, and straight away put some of the conventionally grown produce item into our shopping carts. We tend to just assume and don't even bother to look at what's available in the organic produce section. But that's a mistake. When you take a moment to actually look at the unit prices on both produce options, grown under different farming conditions, you'll find that sometimes the organically grown produce item might actually be the better deal. Here's a good example to show you what I mean. The other day, I was doing some grocery shopping at the local supermarket. One of the items on my list was potatoes. When I got to the section of the fresh produce department where potatoes were sold, I did a quick check to see what the available options were. That's when I saw a difference between the organically grown version and the conventionally grown version, and it wasn't in the way I expected. Here's what I saw. There were 5-pound bags, or 2.25 kilogram bags, of organic russet potatoes on sale for $6.99. Then, I saw bags of conventionally grown store-brand potatoes also being sold in a display bin nearby. But, while these were also 5-pound bags, they were being sold for $7.29. All the different types of potatoes, yellow, red, or russet, were all being sold for the same price. So in this case, it was actually less expensive to buy the organic russet potatoes instead of the conventionally grown version. Yes, the difference was only about 30 cents cheaper, but there was a difference. And it proves that the organically grown produce item may sometimes be less expensive and of better value than a conventionally grown produce item. It is not always the case that organic produce will be way more expensive, and in some cases, it could actually be cheaper. So the moral of the story? Always check carefully. Don't just assume. And keep this in mind. Often the best way to tell is to compare the unit prices between the two different produce options to really determine which is the better deal. So today we looked at 3 strategies you can adopt to start saving money today on your grocery bill. These are first, to intentionally begin to cut down the amount of animal-based food products you buy weekly. Not only will this be better for your health, it will also free up space in your grocery budget that can be used to purchase more affordable plant-based protein-rich foods, like shelf-stable dried and canned legumes. Second, make your own frozen meals instead of relying on store-bought commercial frozen meal products. It'll be cheaper and more nutritious. And third, try to check the prices on both produce options whenever you are able. You might be surprised to find that sometimes the organically grown produce version may be more affordable than its conventionally grown counterpart. Now here's an action step you can take. The next time you go grocery shopping, check the prices of organically grown and conventionally grown produce for at least 1 or 2 of your favorite fresh fruits or vegetables. See if there's a difference. Then keep a lookout as you continue shopping to see if you notice more of these deals while inside the supermarket. Remember this, plant-based eating will only be more expensive than your usual grocery bill on a regular diet if you go about plant-based eating the wrong way. But if you really want to enjoy plant-based eating on a budget and eat in a way that will truly transform your health, you need to know how to go about it the right way. That's what I'll teach you within the Plant Power Life Transformation course. You'll learn how to eat plant-based in a stress-free way, what foods to buy, how to store them, and then how to turn them into uncomplicated and tasty plant-based meals for you and those you love. Get the tools you need to turn your health around and to start saving money now. Go to plantnourish.com/PPLT course to get more details about this course. Thank you for listening to the Plant-Based Eating Made Easy podcast. If this podcast has helped you, please take a moment to rate and leave a written review on the Apple Podcast app or on iTunes. Knowing how this podcast has made a difference in your life never fails to light me up. I may also select your review to be read on the show. Remember that moving to plant-based eating can be simple and doable, even with your existing health challenges and busy lifestyle. If you have a plant-based diet question you'll like me to answer on this show, share that question with me using the contact options in the show notes. Thanks for joining me today, and I can't wait to connect with you again in the next episode. Until next time, keep plant-focused and thriving, my friend.